We are here to talk today about Mexico and Pacific Coast for the 25-26 cruise itineraries. And like I said, I'm really super happy to be able to visit about that. I just love the Mexico area. And we have some great new itineraries, including a 7-day Great Bear Rainforest itinerary that I'll visit about in just a second as well. One of the things that we always want to talk about the top reasons to cruise with Holland America, and we do have those great flexible itineraries. And specifically to this webinar, we have a 1-day Pacific Northwest overnight, all the way to 13-day journeys into the Mexico Riviera. So very flexible. I think that's kind of exciting. We'll go into that in a little bit. We have our award-winning personalized service. As you can see in the top here, we have editors picked for Cruise Critic for the Best Service Award in 2023. And we're super proud of that. And we know that we always get huge compliments on the back end from our customers saying, we just great service, attention to detail. How did that guy at the bar know that I wanted to have that, gin and tonic with a certain kind of gin every night when I come over there before dinner? And we just really pride ourselves on that. We have immersive shore excursions. On this particular conversation, we have snorkeling hidden into some of the hidden beaches of Mexico. You can go and savor tequila and tacos, watch dolphins off of the Catalina Island area, and even explore some wineries close to Santa Barbara. And then we also do curated onboard experiences. You're going to see that not only with our conversations and educational talks, but also with fresh local favorites combined with number 5, where we'll bring culinary to the table because of that region. So you're going to see more opportunities to dive into some Mexican food flair with tacos. Fresh fish is going to be brought into the table. Tequilas, margarita tastings, and fun things like that with those experiences. And our Pacific Style at Sea, I just say that's an excuse to say we're going to treat you like you're at an all-inclusive resort on the ocean and have the sun and the fun of Mexico while you're sailing. So all the great reasons there. I just love this photo here because it has my heart. I love the bright colors. I love the way that the wind and the sun is shining down on this beautiful picture, and it just screams to me everything what Mexico is about. So such a great way to enjoy over 300 days of sunshine a year, and it's perfect for parasailing, relaxing on the beach. I'm exploring the Sea of Cortez, and so I just, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about it. So we'll go into this first 12-day historic Baja Peninsula round trip from San Diego on the Zero Dam. And as you can see here, you visit 9 unique ports along the Mexican Riviera and the Sea of Cortez. It's great for whale watching at this time of the year. And you can discover the Loretta's historic missions, which I thought was super interesting. And the church for the Loretto area was where the Loretto Church mission. The actual church was built in 1744, and it took 15 years to build that church. But the actual group that started that whole mission area was back into 1697. So I just think it's interesting. There's still, that area is still doing the missions or go to those churches, and I just think it's super interesting. So you can go into those historic missions. You can also do the Mazatlan seafront boardwalk area and join in on the fun part of Puerto Vallarta, which is one of my very favorite places to go to. I tell people I love Puerto Vallarta because it feels like not quite so touristy as some of the other places to go, where you can go still to the market and walk down and up down the strand of the beach and see the town. And there's sometimes local people out dancing and they're selling their wares, and just such a really nice community. You can see here that we have 7 days to the 11th day that's right here showing anything from round trip San Diego, where you're going to be able to just do either Cabo and go down all the way to Puerto Vallarta, or you're going to be able to go up into that inner peninsula area. And so there's a little bit of flexibility And then we'll pull it all the way over to the 13 days, and where you can go from Vancouver to San Diego, one directional, or back the other way, San Diego to Vancouver. So it gives you a lot of variety and depth on the product. Oops. So now I'm going to talk about the Pacific Coast, which is super exciting. As I mentioned, we're going to talk about 1 to 7 day Pacific Coast itineraries. And I think this is such a great opportunity for people who are either new to cruising or new to Holland America in the brand. When you see this next, we'll go in here. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. But first, let me talk about the 7-day Great Bear Rainforest. So this is going to be a brand new for us to explore Alaska and the British Columbia Native heritage and beautiful rainforest, and it's a true inner passage. And they were talking, when I was looking up this passage and everything, they were talking about that so far back, it goes back to the Gold Rush era. And it's very much like a fjord-like waterway. And I was just thinking, for someone who may not be, so sure about doing all of Alaska, or they might feel like that's just a little bit too much wilderness. Like there's a lot of women I speak to, and they're like, I know my husband would enjoy it, but it might just be a little bit too much for me. I think this is a great bridge to make everybody happy, because you're getting to see a touch of the Alaska, and you're going to be in that inside passage, but you're also going to get to see the beautiful town of Vancouver and Victoria. What a win-win for that. So this is going to be your 7-night round trip from Seattle on the Nordam, and I think it's a great little itinerary for us to be adding. Now, this is what I was going to talk about with the 1 days. So you can go Seattle to Vancouver, or then back Vancouver to Seattle in a day. And you could almost treat this like a little ferry if you want. Like, how great is it for you to be able to give somebody the experience to say, just try us out for a little bit and do, a long 3-day trip or something like that, where they get to go and see either one city or the other. Maybe they live in one and they want to visit the other, or vice versa, or they want to fly in and see both of them. But get a taste of who we are on the ship, and all the things we talked about, our wonderful staff on board, the experience, how they're treated, and what it's like to be on the open water. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, that was great. And I'll do 4 or 5 days. And before you know it, you're going to have somebody who wants to go for 21 or more days. So I think it's just a great experience for them. And then we also have these little 4 days that are little California retreats that we call. I think it's another one where you can get down into Ensenada and then go into San Diego and all the way up to Santa Barbara, which is really nice as well. Just additional itineraries here. Again, 4 to 7, wine country is going to be included, the Pacific Northwest area. And we'll keep going here to the collector's voyages. So I know most of you should know about our collector's voyages. These are great because they offer the opportunity to do back-to-back cruising and seeing different itineraries and different ports of call. But when you put those together, it provides your client a bit of a discount by kind of grouping them together. So if you're not real comfortable or you don't know about collector's voyages, I really encourage you to talk to your local BDM. And just try to get a little bit more information about that, because there's so many people I talk to, and they love to do these because they're there, and then they just do back to back to back, and they're able to see so much product, and they take advantage of those discounts. As you know, we do have some fantastic shore excursions, and in Mexico, we're highlighting here, of course, the Ark in Los Cabos, and you can do whale watching there. And then that beautiful chapel or cathedral, I would call it, on the second, that's in Puerto Vallarta. I've been there several times, and they have great little tours where you can see the cathedral, and you can do tequila factory tours and a little buffet. And then we end it there with Santa Barbara. And I thought it was interesting that Los Olivos is another area, and I looked up the meaning of what that was named for, because I was thinking, well, that sounds like olives, but we're talking about wine country. And sure enough, they said that they named it because there was a local nearby ranch that had 5,000 olive trees close to that. And so that was the reason that they named it Los Olivias. And I also learned that there is the Santa Barbara County, I love wine, is known for their Pinots and Chardonnays, and they actually have 30 labels that they produce in that area. So you could do that. And then, of course, we have the picture of Lombardi Street. And if you've not ever gone into San Francisco and taken the ferry over to do Alcatraz, highly recommend that too as a great excursion. You can do the little headphones and do a self-walking tour through it, and it's really one of the best things I've done with my family specifically. We spoke about this a little earlier, but we do this destination dining, which just means we're going to bring fresh products onto the ship so that you can enjoy them and feel like you're being immersed into the culture. So here we're showing you those fish tacos or chicken tacos, and then avocados, of course, are going to be part of that. And this ties great into our fresh fish program. And so if you have not heard the great news about that, we are one of the only cruise lines that is bringing in over 80 varieties of fresh fish that's locally sourced through our networks into our program. And so we are able to provide you this very fresh fish. And I believe that we tout that we try to get it to your plate within 24 hours of being able to catch it and get it on the ship and then dining with your dining experience. So anyway, it's just super exciting. So like you would have yellowfish tuna perhaps, and then the Rainier cherries to tie into going up to the north. And again, dining is a big thing for chefs. I mean, everybody knows they love the food. So just to highlight that we always have, you know, our main dining rooms, our specialty dining, our lovely coffee and treats are in the Dutch Cafe, and then plenty of bars for you and lounges to enjoy our wonderful music and have a cocktail. And we are known for activities day and night. And I am kind of new to Holland, but I would say that what I really think Holland has going for it is that at the end of the evening, after the wonderful food and socialization and the shows and everything's kind of coming to an end, they keep going with the music walk. And I love that you can stay up to however late you want to, listening to anything from jazz and blues to hard rock and all the way to dueling pianos. Just so much fun. And then during the day, we just really love to offer, you know, enrichment classes like how to make leis like they show here, or modern brush lettering, origami. And if you want to keep active, you can do, you know, pickleball and Tai Chi. So there's just something for everyone at all the time. And I love that they keep you busy, or as busy as you want to be. And then with that, if you don't want to be very busy and you just want to be pampered at sea, you could certainly do our spa experiences, which is just so lovely. You can make your sea days your me days, and we encourage you to definitely always talk about this with your clients and see how they can pamper themselves at sea. We carry the Habit-All, and we also have the early booking bonus Habit-All, which this qualifies for. And as you can see with the grid here, it's just so enticing to go ahead and get people aware of these itineraries and do the early booking bonus, because then they can do the upgrade, the free upgrade for the elite beverage package, the premium Wi-Fi, the gratuities, which I think in itself is a reason to do that. Sometimes people that aren't familiar with cruising, so those that you might be talking to, are a little bit surprised at what they're going to be charged for the gratuities. And then you're going to get that low price guarantee as well. So I'm sure y'all are very familiar with this grid, but we always want to cover it. And then we also want to talk to you about those small affinity groups. So we just would really love for you to remember that there are so many opportunities for you to talk to different groups. You know, I've been on cruises where there's book club groups that come on, people who love to do wine and wine tasting, which this itinerary that we talked about going into Santa Barbara would be fantastic for that. You could have pickleball groups, quilting groups, village prayers. Now the whole thing is oh gosh, I think it's mahjong, but everybody's wanting to learn how to play that. And that's a fun thing to bring on board and do as a group as well. And with those small affinity groups, you get 2 extra gap points per group, and it's a 1 to 10 ratio on the tour conductor. So definitely talk to your BDMs about this as well as you move forward and you consider how could you entice some groups in your community that would want to come together. I think we're getting close to the end. Yeah. So thank you for your time today. I really love that you came online and you're learning about this product. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out to your business development manager in your area. And we hope that you're having a great day. And we appreciate you for taking time and selling Holland.